My next and first guest ever is none other than Big Bang Theory star Mayim Bialik, PhD. All right. So first of all, you and I, this was not, oh, we booked someone. This was like, you're my friend. You're my friend in real life.
I'm really your super fan stalker, but you call me your friend, and I appreciate that.
I can't get over that. I was doing a women in comedy event for Elle Magazine, and you were in the audience, and the comics were entertaining everyone.
No insult to Elle Magazine or Women in Comedy. I didn't want to go until I heard that you were headlining.
Oh my God. I didn't really headline, but I like that you said that. And you came afterward, this woman came up and she was like, Mayim Bialik would really like to meet you. And I was like, are you talking to someone behind me? Like, there were so many important women there, and you came over and you were so giggly.
I was shaking.
That's so insane.
Yeah.
Because, like, you're you, and you're a scientist. You're a scientist and a mother, and you're on...
So I know for sure that you're awesome.
Empirically. So, the first thing that I find fascinating about you is you have your ethics and your morals. We're living in Hollywood, which is just a garbage heap of a city with just insane people at every turn. And you manage you're a mother, you're a vegan, you're Jewish, and you adhere to the rules of Judaism.
I'm observant-ish, as I call myself.
Yeah, you're observant-ish. You're a scientist. Like, you've got your values that are important to you. And I think one thing that I guess comes out of that is when you have something to say, you say it. In a scientific and almost delicate way. You're not angry.
Right. I mean, I do get angry, as women are wont to.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, people assume that I'm super confident, and I'm actually not. It's actually very hard for me to speak up about the things that I do speak up about. But I have a good group of mostly women, but a couple men around me who encourage me to be brave, not just for myself, but not for the sake of all humanity, but to kind of, a little bit. No, but really to also demonstrate how we can speak and how we can have conversations even if we don't agree. And that's what I think is so interesting. Like, you and I are such different people, but everything you say resonates with me, not just what you're saying, but the way that you're presenting it. And I think that's something we especially need to teach young people and young women in particular. Like, this is the way you present yourself, and you can speak your mind without people calling you names. And if they do, who cares?
Yeah. You've written a book called Growing Up.
Yeah.
It's a segue.
Maybe up.
And it comes out next Tuesday.
It does.
May 9th. And I am going to be doing moderating a panel.
That's right.
I've never done that before.
I choose you.
I love that. I love that. And so I started. She wrote it. She wrote it.
They're going to want us to make out at the end of this.
Okay, well, they're going to pay me a lot more money.
It's like a love fest.
Deep cable channel. So you wrote this book, and when I first was asked to read it, I was like, okay, it's by Mayim, she's a PhD, and I thought it was going to be a science book, and I started reading it. This is a wonderful tool for girls turning into women. This is for, what, like a 10 to 14-year-old?
We're saying like more like, 10 to 18, depending on how advanced you are at 18.
I was...
But yeah.
Ready to go.
We addressed that too.
Okay.
Yes. There's a whole section just for you and your breasts. Yeah, yes, I wrote a book from a scientific perspective, but for an audience of about 10 to 18-year-old girls. It's called Growing Up. And the idea is to know everything about yourself, from how X and Y chromosomes work, to what sex and dating is like, how your brain works, how your body takes in nutrition, how you cope with difficult things, and how you actually make a difference in the world as a female and as a human being. And it all has kind of a neuroscience background and also a psychology background and a little bit of kind of sociology. Like, the way we see our bodies is not the way every culture sees our bodies.
Right.
And I think that's really important for young girls too, like to understand that the bubble that we live in our media or our culture or this country is not the way the entire world sees women.
Right.
And there are even cultures within this country where women are appreciated for being different sizes and shapes. So there's a kind of a general message, and I know empowerment's such like a hashtaggy word, and I don't mean it to sound like, oh look, celebrity person putting her, you know, face on it. But I kind of mean it.
You've created a holistic approach to femininity and womanhood, and I hope that everybody picks up this book for a young woman in their lives.
Nice. Or anyone who loves a young woman.
Well, anyone who reads needs to read this book.
Anyone with eyeballs, really. You could just look at the words. They're pretty.
Because the science stuff, I was like, oh, I did not know that about chemicals. So before we go, I have to ask. You're one of the stars of The Big Bang Theory.
Correct.
Does anyone get killed off this season? Spill it. Spill
I'm going to give you the exclusive scoop. Everyone gets killed off at the end of the season.